Hi guys, welcome to the channel. So in today's video we'll be looking at what you want to look at. Write that in the comment section below, but for today I've chosen a topic already, and that is equivalent fractions. So this is something really basic, and it won't take really long for you to master it, so let's begin. I know there's been a lot of fractions, decimals, and other rational numbers lately, but that's really important. So that's why I want to cover them all before I shift to new topics. Okay, so let's go on. Okay, so what are equivalent fractions? So these are fractions which have the same value but are written using different numbers. Okay, so for example, we have 3 over 4 and 6 over 8. So these are called equivalent fractions. They have the same value but are written as different numbers. So why do we say they have the same value? Let's look at that. So for example, this is a circle, okay? I know it's a really weird circle, but it's a circle. And since it's 3 over 4, let's divide it into 4. And since it's 3 over 4, let's shade 3 and leave 1. This is your fourth quadrant, second quadrant, and third quadrant. Okay, so this is your resulting circle, okay, for this fraction right here. And for this fraction, because it says 8, your denominator is 8, so you divide your circle into 8. 2, 4, 6, and 8. And it says 6 over 8, so you're gonna what do you call this? Yeah, shade 6 slices. Okay, so let's go 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, so if you look at this one and this one, they both are like this. Okay, okay, so they're both basically the same thing. Equal parts have been shaded and equal parts have remained unshaded, right? So that's why we call them equivalent fractions. With the fractions, fraction with equal value but different numbers. Okay, so how do you find equivalent fractions? Usually they're found within the simplifying process. For example, most of the time when we get answers like, let's say 36 of what number do you like? Let's use 36 over 48. Okay, so what will you do when you get something like this? You're gonna to simplify it, you're gonna divide by 2 on top and 2 on the bottom. Okay, so 36 divided by 2 is 18 over 48 divided by 2 is 24. So when you simplify a fraction, you get another fraction which is an equivalent. Okay, so whenever you whenever you divide or multiply a number to the denominator and to the numerator, okay, you get an equivalent fraction. So for example, here we are going to divide the numerator and the denominator both by 2 to get the equivalent fraction. To simplify it further, we are going to divide it by 2, divide by 2. You get 9 over 12. Okay, and then so this is also an equivalent fraction. And then you still want to simplify it further, so you divide by 3, divide by 3. You're going to get 3 over 4. So even 3 over 4 is an equivalent fraction. It cannot be simplified further. So the equivalent fractions we got through this simplifying process was 36 over 48, 18 over 24, 9 over 12, and 3 over 4. So if you want to confirm that by using diagrams, be sure you can do that by just drawing rectangles or circles the way I did, and you can confirm to see if all of these have the same value. Okay, but usually, if you guys have understood, equivalent fractions, okay, equivalent fractions are found by multiplying or dividing by a number to the numerator and denominator, the same number to the numerator and to the denominator. So here we got the equivalent fraction by dividing. Now let's look at an example of how to get equivalent fractions by multiplication. Okay, so for example, we have 4 over 8 times 2 times 2. Okay, so you're gonna get 8 over 16. So this is an equivalent fraction to this one. And then you want to get it further, so you can, it's not a must to continuously multiply by the same number. You can also change your number. For example, let's put 3 here. So you're going to get 24 over 48. So this is also an equivalent fraction. You can further continue by multiplying it by 5, as long as the number that you're multiplying on top and on bottom is the same. You cannot do multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 and say that this one is an equivalent fraction. No, the number on top and the number to the denominator should be the same. Only then the answer you get will be an equivalent fraction to the original fraction. Okay, I hope that was clear enough. If it wasn't, do not worry, we still have more examples coming up. It will be fine by the end of the video, so just chill. Okay, so now we have a number that is 21 over 30. So this is your original fraction. Okay, original fraction. You're being told to find equivalent fraction. So what are you going to do? You look at the common number that divides both of them. Which number divides both of them? I can think of 3, because 3 multiplied by 7 is 21 and 3 multiplied by 10 is 30. So you divide by 3 to get 7, you divide by 3 to get 10. So now you have 7 over 10, which is the equivalent fraction. You can't not simplify it further, so this is your only answer. However, if you want to use multiplication to find equivalent fractions, you go on to do this. So let's say you chose the number 2, okay? Multiplied by 2, multiplied by 2. Now you have 42 over 60. So that is an equivalent fraction. And you can either write it that way, or you can continue multiplying it depending on the number of equivalent fractions you've been asked for. So for example, you've been asked for 3, you continue multiplying it. Let's say my 2 by 2, you now have 84 over 120. Okay, so this is your second equivalent fraction, but it asks for 3, so let's continue multiplying it. Now you have 168 over 240. That is your answer. So now you have 3 equivalent fractions for the original fraction. So you can go 2 ways. You can either divide or you can multiply. Okay, both the answers will be right, but most of the time that's not how you get questions of equivalent fractions. Most of the time the way you get questions is like this. So you're being told, okay, 4 over 12 is the original fraction, is equal to the equivalent fraction, which is x over 6. Find x. So how are you gonna go around this? So the first thing you got to do is just cross multiply. I like writing steps for you guys, so it's more a checklist type. You can know that you're not missing out on anything. Is there anything that you need to focus on more? And it's more organized, and if your thoughts are organized, your work will be organized, and you'll get better marks. That's what I believe in. The more organized your work is, the more marks you gain. Okay, so however, whenever you're being given a question like this, where you have one original fraction, one equivalent fraction, and a variable, and you're being told to look for the variable, okay, so you just need to cross multiply. What I mean by cross multiply is take the numerator of the first of the original multiplied by the denominator of the equivalent. So 4 times 6, and then put the equal sign, and then you have the numerator of the equivalent, that is x, multiplied by the denominator of the original, so x times 12. Okay, so you're gonna get 24 is equal to 12x. Because you want x alone, you divide by 12 on both sides. So now you have x is equal to, because this will cancel out, so now you have x is equal to 4 divided by 12, that is 2. This is your answer. So 4 over 12 is equal to 2 over 6. They're equivalent fractions. Okay. Wow. This concept is really common, and I'm gonna show another thing related to it in my next video, so be sure to, just memorize it. Practice questions, practice, and you need to be perfect. Cross multiplication is very essential in mathematics. It's one of the fundamental things, and you must know how to do that. So the numerator multiplied by the denominator is equal to the numerator multiplied by the denominator. So if you want a formula for that, let's say you have a over b is equal to c over d. Okay, so you when you cross multiply, you get ad is equal to bc. Okay, I think that's quite clear now, and I hope you have a good day. Please be sure to share, like, and subscribe for more content. Hit the bell icon and have a good day.